You have to do this favor to yourself. Get over the discomfort, get over the cringiness, get over the awkwardness, because it's not awkward. This is you now. You're not just playing a part in a movie. Hello everyone and welcome back to Embrace the Self. I'm Christine and I'm here to bring you all things personal development, manifestation, self-care, and everything that makes your life better. It is my goal to give you the tools and resources that you need to create a life that sets your soul on fire and that makes you wake up every single day feeling like you've won the lottery. Now in today's video, I want to talk about 5 subtle things that you may or may not be doing that can jeopardize your identity shift or personal growth in general. And as we all know, when it comes to shifting our identity, the most important thing that we have to do is assume this identity fully. We need to embody it. It has to go from an idea that we formed once in our mind and fill us, consume us fully as we embrace this new identity. Now, living in a society that is based upon usually very low frequency, low vibe entertainment content, but also has been majorly, dominantly conditioned to think negatively, to not have a growth mindset, but rather a fixed mindset, to look at circumstances outside of themselves when it comes to why they can't achieve certain things. It's not that easy to shift, although it is easy, but you know what I mean. We can get distracted every now and then. So I want this video to serve as a reminder for you to kind of pull your attention towards things that you may have not been aware of, and maybe also things that seem so insignificant but actually are very significant. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is self-deprecating memes. What do I mean by that? I mean the memes that say like,
I'm gonna be a cat lady forever.
and I know it seems funny, yeah, and then you'll send it to your friend and you both laugh about it and you bond over it. But you know what's detrimental about that? Let's assume that your new identity is being in a healthy, committed, happy relationship with a man or a woman or whomever. Do you really think that you're gonna be an old cat lady eventually? And I know you're probably saying, well, it's just a joke. No. The thing is, your subconscious mind does not understand the difference between a joke and reality. As a matter of fact, it's gonna take in that joke even more because you're laughing about it. That means you're in a high frequency about it. That means your subconscious mind is thinking, oh, she's laughing. That means it's like a positive thing. She's happy. Okay, let me save that. And I know we don't really think about this a lot, but it's the same thing that goes for example, if you want to change. And by the way, I'm going to talk about these 2 examples, being in a relationship and being a wealthy person, a lot. It's the same thing as saying, for example, you're establishing yourself in a wealth identity. Like you have wealth consciousness, you're a wealthy person, that's who you want to be. But then sending memes with your friends, me on my way, going on a trip, spending all my money in my bank account, there's 0 point whatever. Would a wealthy version of you send something like that? Would you even be aligned with that? Would you identify with that? I don't think so. So you really have to be mindful of this. And I hope this will help you because I know for myself, I do not send any memes any longer that are not in alignment with the identity that I am embodying, that I am creating for myself, and that I want to live by. Because I just know that it just reinforces the same thing over and over again. And even though your friend might still not, maybe they're not like on their growth journey, maybe they don't want to grow, maybe they don't want to change their identity, but they can, you know, they can have entertainment. I don't even like, if friends send me a video like that, I'm not even gonna interact with it. I'm not gonna like the reel. I'm not even gonna think to myself, ha 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 ha, whatever, nothing. I paid no mind. And this leads me right next into the next thing, the next subtle thing that you might be overlooking, which is feeling a pressure to conform to what other people know you as. So obviously, depending on how long you've been on your growth journey, it is very much likely that your family, your friends, people in your social circles, like maybe at work, maybe in school, have come to know you as a certain type of person. They may even call you or label you as a certain person. They might be like, "Oh, but you've been single for like you're always single. Like you're always the single person." And then now again, you want to be in a relationship. Now here's the thing, if you're not like aware of this, you will take on what they're saying and you're not even going to question it. But the first thing that has to ring a bell in your mind the moment you've changed your identity is, hold on, this no longer matches who I am. It doesn't. So when they're saying something like that, for example, it is up to you to say, I'm sorry, I don't vibe with this. Like, I have changed. I'm now a different person. I'm very much open for a relationship. I have healed, I've done the work, and I know that my perfect partner is on his way to me. That is how you have to respond. You should never let that go unchallenged. And I'm not saying to pick a fight with everyone around you. And I know it seems uncomfortable to all of a sudden embody someone that they've never seen you to be. And especially people who do not get these concepts, they don't get how we create our reality, how we have to shift in order to get something new, to experience a new world. But you have to do this favor to yourself. Get over the discomfort, get over the cringiness, get over the awkwardness, because it's not awkward. This is you now. You're not just playing a part in a movie. This is the movie of your life, you know? This is the entirety of who you are for now. And obviously, like we shift and we change every single second, like every millisecond we shift states. But this is the dominant state that you are taking in now for the next however long time, you know? So you have to take this seriously and you have to kind of observe yourself and see where you are conforming to what other people have come to know you as. On to the next one, which is a big thing for a lot of people, no matter what. Giving the 3D reality more power than you give your inner world. Because here's the thing, when we are shifting our identity, and we're basically phasing out that old identity that we've lived by for however long, or lived in for however long, there is a very high chance that you might still get some like glimmers and sparkles of what you have dominantly thought, felt, believed, acted as from the past that will still be reflected back to you because it has to phase itself out. And it's also basically your subconscious mind asking you, are you really sure that this is your new identity? And in that moment, you have to be firm within this identity. You cannot look outside of you and believe that this is cementing who you are. It's not. It's basically like, it's like the old pot of coffee that you brewed yesterday that is being put into your cup, if that makes any sense. And you have to like just dump it out and be like, hell no, I'm gonna brew a new pot of coffee today. This is it. Like I'm done with you. I'm okay. I am so strong in myself and so strong in my belief in myself. I am so strong in my belief in myself. And I know that my inner world creates what I'm experiencing outside of me. All of this is just projections. It's basically a whole big hallucination that you're seeing, taking in with your five senses. So be so certain in your new identity, especially in the beginning, and be aware that your subconscious mind might like pop out some of the old evidence, I'd say, from back then when you still believed differently, when you thought differently and felt differently and everything. And just, you know, if you have an emotional reaction to it, that's okay, but let the emotions out, process them, and let them pass. Let them go. And then come back to yourself. Okay, the fourth thing that you have to pay attention to is having mismatching beliefs that are not in alignment with your new identity. And this you might not even be, the thing is, you might not be aware of it as well because they can be sneaky. So let's take the example of being in a relationship again. Let's assume you chose for yourself. I chose the identity of being in a happy, committed, fulfilling relationship. But you only made this decision. Meanwhile, you never looked at what are your beliefs about men? What are your beliefs about relationships? What are your beliefs about yourself in a relationship? What are your beliefs about how you're treated in a relationship? And then you have all these beliefs basically along the lines of men suck, or relationships are difficult, or everyone always cheats on me. Things like this, you have to really go in there. And if you know you still have some of these beliefs, which by the way, you can easily figure out what these beliefs are either by looking at what has happened in the past in your relationships, or if you get quiet, calm yourself down, breathe a little, take deep breaths, and ask yourself, when you say men are, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Because that comes from your subconscious mind, and that will always tell you immediately what your subconscious programmings are. And the same thing goes for money. If you claim that you're a wealthy person, but you have a belief about money is the root of all evil, or rich people suck, or how you behave with money, like I always spend everything, or I'm not responsible with money, how do you believe that would impact you being a wealthy person? You wouldn't, that's not part of you being a wealthy person. A wealthy person has a neutral, a good relationship, an appreciative relationship with money. They do not condemn rich people because they're rich themselves. And also, for example, they would never agree with someone saying, oh, everything's gotten so expensive. Like, yeah, maybe it looks like this on the outside, the surface, it looks like objectively speaking, the prices are rising, yes. But you, as a wealthy person that can afford anything that you want, do not consider whatever to be too expensive. Okay, maybe if it's like, I don't know, going on, I mean, it depends on the type of wealth you have, right? Like taking a space rocket, a spaceship, going onto the moon or flying to the moon, maybe that that could be quite expensive depending on how wealthy you are, depending on what is wealth to you, you know? So you also have to define that, but be very, very careful about your hidden beliefs, your underlying beliefs that are like kind of like the sub beliefs of your identity, of your chosen identity, and also how you speak about certain things. This also kind of ties into the whole thing with the memes. Like when you're in conversation with other people and they're complaining about the economy and the prices and everything, be careful. And also, if I can give you one tip, if someone says something like, for example, oh, this and that always happens, it's a negative belief, find a way of giving yourself a sign that you do not believe in this belief. So for example, for me, I got this from another coach. She always, whenever someone says like something that she does not want to adopt as her belief, she rubs her nose. But you could also just like tug your ear lobe, or you could pull a finger or something like that, just to give yourself like in your subconscious mind a sign like, stop, like this is not my reality. And then finally, the fifth subtle thing that you may not be aware of that is sabotaging your identity shift is your beloved ego. And yes, I said beloved ego because I know that for many of us, the relationship we have with our egos is we hate it, we want to get rid of it, which is impossible. Excuse me, it's keeping you safe, and you just want to eliminate it. You're basically like, why? Like, are you even there? And here's the thing, it's always going to be there, and it does try to sabotage your changes, your growth, and it does so for the only reason is because it's scared, you know? It's scared for you. And so hating it away is never going to work. The only way you can successfully integrate your ego is by creating a loving relationship with it, an appreciative relationship with it, and accepting that it will be there no matter what identity you're trying to adopt, it will always be there. So the way you create a loving relationship with your ego is by talking to it, by taming it, by telling it that everything is fine and that you're grateful for it, that you're grateful for it taking care of you and for keeping you safe, and that it has nothing to worry about because you and it together, you're creating a new life that will be amazing and even better than you currently know. So basically, you just create this relationship with your ego, you tame it through the conversations you have with it, you really just speak to your ego, and that will help to keep it from encroaching on every single step towards growth that you take, which if you're changing your identity, that's a lot, you know, like you're shifting a lot and it can get scary for it, but you can talk to it and it'll all be fine. So these were the 5 things that I have identified in my own personal growth journey that I wanted to share with you, so that you understand how they may affect your shift in identity. And I'm curious to know, were any of these new to you? Have they given you an aha moment? I hope they were helpful. And also let me know if there's any other topics that you'd like content on. I'm always happy to, answer the questions that you have. And I want to provide you with the content that will help you create a bigger and better and grander life for yourself. And thank you so much for watching. And until next week, bye.